Alright, I'm going to make a quick video today because it's been a long time since I posted anything about this project. I've just decided it's time to do something with it again. This is the Jeep. It's got built. Number one, it was the first Jeep I ever built. In reality, that came before it, and this was around about the same time. It sits on blocks because the foams in these tires would be flat in one spot if it didn't. So, no backstory on Jeep. A friend of mine gave me the body. It was a New Bright rig. We'd messed with it for years. I used, I forget the name of it. It was another little toy grade one, and made it four-wheel drive with tires about 2 inches in diameter, so it looked scaled. It looked like the real deal, a stock Wrangler, or Rubicon I should say. And then that got blown out, and it got, in the front, it got the IFS of a Traxxas 1/16 Summit, and G-Made Portal in the back, which has been there for several years now. And it went through a lot of little modifications with that, along with suspension tweaks and changes over time, and eventually ended up, had the same transmission out of that Traxxas car, and aluminum frame, which is the reason it's in its current state, is that aluminum frame got right behind where the shocks, where the front control arms mounted. It was right behind where the rear control arms mounted, I should say. I'm thinking something else here. The frame cracked after a few jumps. It's aluminum and it just fatigued over a few years. And then I began this rebuild, and it went back to the original tractor cleats that it had from New Bright. This time it got a full steel frame, actual C-channel this time. Transfer case I made myself. It's a timing chain off of a little Suzuki engine. I forget exactly what. Custom sprockets, timing chain, some bearings, and a bunch of bits of scrap metal equals that. And then homemade drive shafts all the way around. That one is flat, worn out. It's been that universal joint has been in use in this Jeep for the past 4 years. So it's going out. In the back, I've kept my cantilever suspension, but with new shocks. These are off of a Traxxas Rushlow, I think it was. Nitro 2-wheel drive. Same platform as the Bandit. And several other 2-wheel drive Slash, 2-wheel drive Stampede. Same platform for a lot of different vehicles still. Kept that. These are plastic sheets that I borrowed from work. They were drops that were in the garbage. Alright, this one for work, this one for school. Like 2 years ago. And then under here is 3/8" brake tubing, brake line, that I've made radius arms out of. And then that's the panhard bar, correct? And that aligns this. All the joints on this, aside from the shocks and the steering, along those lengths there. All the other ones, so all the suspension components, I would drill a hole through I'd crimp the end flat of my brake line, and then I push a 1/4" weeder line or vacuum line, like 1/8" vacuum line, through there to make a rubber bushing, and that's held captive with a washer and a bolt. And there's also a copper sleeve of a 1/4" OD copper pipe sleeving the inside of that, which is what gives it the strength. Transmission is out of Makita Drill. It's a 2-speed unit with a Johnson 550 out of an old Black & Decker drill. I forget where I found that. And also the transmission that this came with had the steel gears to make this completely steel gears, all 32 pitch inside. The front, the shocks are a HPI Savage, and that leaves me with about 2.5, 3 inches of suspension travel in the front, and about 3.5 inches in the back. Speed controller is a Traxxas XL 2.5. This is a 4-channel Tonnage, which, not that great. It was cheap and what I could afford. 7 years ago I got that, and it still works pretty well. Doesn't have a lot of settings. I wish it had more settings than it did. And then high-tech servos are about $30 a piece, and for the longest time I would get the cheap little $12, $13 for Tabo servos. You're wasting your time and your money. There's no strength there. They don't last but a few weeks if you're nice to them. The front, Exceed RC 1/16 Max Stone diff. Shafts are out of a Traxxas Bandit. I made my own custom spool so that I could attach these to it with a row pin hammered through them. That one's cut down about as short as I could instead of spline left in the middle. This one I actually had to extend a little bit. You can see the joint up in the top there. Yeah, forgive my welds on those. The first time I ever TIG welded. The machine really wasn't small enough for what I was doing. And then this is a TTB. This is the only RC car I've ever seen with TTB. Lip bump still on passenger side, none on the driver's side. Links are done the same way. The camber and caster is not the same. It needs to be adjusted. Alright, my camera cut out there for a moment. Sorry about that. The beams are made out of a 3/4 inch square tubing, 14 gauge material. And then I basically just ground and cut on them until there was no real tubing left. The camber is off on this side compared to him, so I forgot that notch I had to put in there to drop the pumpkin down. And I didn't account for that when I welded it back together. My bad. And the caster is off because I really screwed up in the way I did this. I welded my link to the axle. It's normally bolted on, bolt on top, bolt on bottom. And then also the top doubles as a spring retainer. That's how it would be done in the real world. Here, I decided to weld it on because it was quick and it was easy. And when I did that, I did not set my caster correctly on the driver's side. So really and truthfully, I'm most likely going to bend this right here to correct that. Ideally, I'd cut it off and do it again, but too lazy, not happening. Again, all the bushings are back here, all vacuum line, fuel line for weed eater. And I just have the standard steering like you'd see on any Ford pickup. Kinda iffy. The proportions aren't the same, but it works and it turns quite nicely. So, yeah. And if you're wondering, does it flex? Yeah, it'll flex a little bit. That's with a little force on it, so we just picking the tire up, it probably flex more. It does flex a little bit more to the passenger side. That's because the this bottoms out on the frame. Well, my camera was previously cut out on me. It's 14% battery and not very happy right now. So I'm going to wrap this up real quick. This is just intended to be an update on this. I've had one person ask of my 38 subscribers, where is it? So, okay, here it is. That's kind of sad. Yeah, it's been a good little Jeep. I'll get running videos of it soon. And, yeah. Any questions of first ever TTB on RC? A Jeep, not even a Ford. If anyone wants to know about that, just inquire below and I'll try to help you out if you have a build similar to this planned. So that's all, folks.